Hey everybody, I'm Dan McClellan. I'm a scholar of the Bible and religion. Let's take a look at a video.
I'm excited to announce today that Oklahoma is the first state to bring the Bible back to the classroom.
So this is a misleading statement. There has never been a period in the history of the United States or in Oklahoma when Bibles were not allowed in the classrooms. Students have always been able to bring their own Bibles into the classroom, and Bibles have been used in classrooms to teach the Bible as literature or the history of the Bible, or to use the Bible as a supplement in teaching about the history of Christianity and Judaism and things like that. Now, what's different today from the early history of the United States is in the 19th century, the Bible was used as a textbook, primarily for English and history and things like that, but people also preached from it, and it was used in school-led prayer and things like that. In the 20th century, as there were more and more non-Christians in the classroom, it became clear that the devotional use of the Bible on the part of state-sponsored public schools was a flagrant violation of the very First Amendment to the U.S. Constitution, the Establishment Clause. And so Supreme Court rulings in 1962 and 1963 correctly identified public school-led prayer and public schools requiring Bible readings on the part of students were unconstitutional, and so those have been phased out. But Bibles have still been allowed in classrooms for use in lessons related to the Bible as literature, to the history of Judaism and Christianity, and to the history of the Bible. So at no point have Bibles been kept out of the classroom. And what Oklahoma is doing is not bringing Bibles back into the classroom, it's just mandating the presence of a physical copy of the Bible in the classroom. You don't have to have a physical copy of the Bible in a classroom in order to teach comprehensively about or even from the Bible. And so this is not about teaching the Bible better. This is about having the Bible as an icon in the classroom to declare who's in charge of this space and what ideologies are going to govern this space. In other words, it's being used as an icon to structure power and values and boundaries. It's basically an idol, letting everybody know who's in charge of this space and to whom they are subordinate.
Today we purchased over 500 Bibles that will be in the AP government classrooms across the state. Bible just like this. We have the Bible, the Constitution, the Declaration of Independence, the Bill of Rights. These are foundational documents in our nation's history.
So two things to note here. One, only the last three documents are actually foundational documents in our nation's history. The Bible is not. And in previous public statements, Superintendent Walters has tried to amplify the false notion that the Bible played a foundational role in the development of the Constitution or the Declaration of Independence or the actual foundational documents of our nation. And you can look at my video number, McClellan 2119, for a breakdown of where that misinformation comes from and why it is misinformation. Second thing to note is that he held up a Trump Bible. And when he first announced that the state was going to require the Bibles that they put in all classrooms contain things like the Constitution and the Bill of Rights and the Declaration of Independence, everybody pointed out, hey, you're basically saying this has to be a Trump Bible. And immediately they were like, no, it could be any Bible that has these things. And they actually changed the requirements, but they ended up just filtering taxpayer dollars into Trump's pocket anyway by buying 500 Trump Bibles. So obviously this has always just been a grift as part of an attempt to use the Bible as an idol to structure power and values and boundaries in the favor of right-wing authoritarian and social dominance orientation identity politics. But at least it's more transparent now.
Our kids have to understand the role the Bible played in influencing American history.
So this is an absolutely laughable attempt to make it sound like there's a defensible reason for requiring a physical copy of the Bible be in every classroom. But helping students understand the role of the Bible in the history of the nation does not in any way, shape, or form whatsoever require a physical copy of the Bible be in any, much less all classrooms. Again, it's just using the Bible as an idol so the people who are occupying that space know who is in charge of that space. Additionally, Superintendent Walters has no clue what the role of the Bible has been in the history of the United States. He's just spreading misinformation that he got off of social media because he realizes it can help him structure power and values and boundaries in his own favor.
It's very clear that the radical left has driven the Bible out of the classroom, which leads to a lack of understanding of American history.
So again, one, the Bible has not been driven out of the classroom. Two, it is only mandatory readings of the Bible that have been stopped, and that's because of the U.S. Constitution. And three, you do not have to have a physical copy of the Bible in any classroom to comprehensively teach about the history of this country and even the role of the Bible in the history of this country. But you do need to have a competent grasp of the role of the Bible in the history of this country, which Superintendent Walters does not.
We will not stop until we've brought the Bible back to every classroom in the state.
And again, this is just using the Bible as an icon, as an idol, in order to structure power and values and boundaries in favor of right-wing authoritarian identity politics. And sugar, the fit for this video has been Rogue.